Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency markets, and on the altcoin markets, because in today's video, guys, I want to analyze Bitcoin and talk about where I think Bitcoin is going, but I also want to go ahead and give you guys my top altcoin picks, because if you tuned in for the live stream last night, the charity live stream we did, then you will know what my two altcoin picks are, but I want to go ahead and go over them in this video for those of you who weren't able to make it last night. I do want to make a little bit of an announcement at the beginning of this video, two of them actually. The first of which, and honestly the more important of which, is that I've started running charity live streams. I'm probably going to be doing 2 or 3 of those a week. So every time I live stream, all donations given during the live stream will be going directly towards charity. Last night we raised $108, and I'm going to be matching that dollar for dollar to the local homeless shelter. I tried to give that donation last night and just now, but for some reason it's declining my card. I just bought something on Amazon to make absolutely sure that no problem is there. So I might have to drive down there and give it to them in person today, but $216 will be going to the local homeless shelter today, and I'd like to raise many thousands more dollars for them, guys. They are doing good work. The second announcement I have to make is that I'm not going to be able to upload a video tomorrow, so we'll do a live stream instead. I have a routine procedure. It's a bit of a minor surgery at 10:30. I have to be there at 9:15. Not going to have any time to do any technical analysis that morning, so I will make it up to you guys with another live stream. Perhaps we'll do another charity live stream. I would absolutely love to do that. But anyway, guys, with all that out of the way, I do want to go ahead and dive right on into the video. But before we get on into it, I do want to go ahead and mention that we are still running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. This is going to be running through the rest of tomorrow. It'll wrap up after tomorrow's live stream, which will happen in the afternoon in America. Guys, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy teaches you everything you need to know to do technical analysis, to trade and invest in these markets knowingly, knowing what you're doing, and be prepared to do it correctly, because the vast majority of traders and investors don't do it correctly, and they don't end up profiting, and it allows you to actually profit in the market if you go and apply the lessons that you learn here in CT2A. So guys, this is going to be running for another 36 hours or so. No rush, but that is the time limit. If you guys are interested, link in the description. More on that at the end of the video. But speaking of the video, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into that video. Of course, the first thing I want to discuss is $10,000 flat on Bitcoin. This is a very major level of resistance that Bitcoin is approaching. Bitcoin wants to get up to $10,000, and Bitcoin wants to break $10,000. Let me show you what happened when we got to a previous level of resistance right here. Bitcoin saw that it came up to $8,400, which was the level of resistance that Bitcoin went to right over here. And as you can see, we rejected off of it temporarily. We did eventually manage to break through it, fell below, and now in this last week or so, we managed to break through it again. I'm expecting we're going to see something similar happen to $10,000. I don't think we're going to break straight through it like we did 6K, but I think there is a good chance that we're going to end up breaking it if we give it maybe 2 weeks to a month of testing that resistance. It's a very large and very powerful level of resistance. There's a pretty good chance that we get through it earlier, but I think the wiser bet is on the fact that Bitcoin, or on my opinion, that Bitcoin is going to spend a little bit more time trying to test 10K. I want to see Bitcoin test $10,000 a couple times and then eventually break it. I'd be surprised if we broke straight through it. Maybe the hype will drive us through that. Maybe some really good fundamental news story will come out, push us right through that. Perhaps the excitement for the new Bitcoin bull market will drive us straight through 10K. Time will tell on that, but I do think we're going to end up going on there. Zooming on in here to the shorter term time frames, I do want to show you guys a couple of patterns I found here over the last couple of days. This one right here, if we get rid of this, would be a rising trading channel, guys. This is necessarily not necessarily anything. It's not necessarily bullish or bearish. A lot of times you see these actually break bearish, and you might be able to make an argument for that, considering Bitcoin is trading on the support side of this trading channel, not on the resistance side. But I think a lot of that just has to do that Bitcoin is also at the same time testing this zone between $93 and $9,400. I don't think that is necessarily because of bearishness in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does break through this $9,400 region, I think it's probably going to go up and test this uptrend of resistance right here, and we're going to see Bitcoin come up and test it, and then maybe come back down and test our support again, and there's a good chance we'll end up breaking through this, guys. If we go into the 4-hourly chart and we look at what Bitcoin was doing back in 2017, that movement right there, right over here, is very reminiscent of something that we saw in the run-up to $20,000. I've shown this to you guys a couple of times, but the first thing I want to point out is this right here. This was a rising trading channel, excuse me, not a rising trading channel, a rising wedge, and sure, Bitcoin did break bullish out of it and then start a bear market, but the point is Bitcoin did break bearish out of it. Right over here, we saw a very similar thing, uptrend of resistance, uptrend of support. Bitcoin actually broke bullish. technically speaking, if you were to read the textbook, it's going to tell you that normally the market will break bearish out of those kind of patterns like the one we're looking at right now. But I don't necessarily think that's what's going to happen here. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. The real point here is that these kind of trading channels, and you could almost call this a really long-term wedge because these are converging on themselves a little bit, they tend to result in breakouts because Bitcoin is going to decide if it wants to break one of the resistance levels, or either the resistance level or the support level. It's going to break one of them eventually, so you can kind of treat it like a consolidation pattern. Speaking of consolidation patterns, guys, on the shorter term time frames, on the same chart, but on the shorter term outlook for the market, instead of talking about a breakout that would happen 2, 3, 4 days from now, a breakout that might happen in the next couple of days would be this one right here. Bitcoin is currently forming this triangle pattern that has formed overnight. We've had the uptrend for a couple of days, but I've been waiting for it to redefine the level of resistance so we could redraw this. And we have about 12 hours ago, maybe about 8 to 10 hours ago, actually, Bitcoin tested resistance right here, and that goes ahead and defines a downtrend of resistance for us. This trend, this pattern does actually end in about 36 hours, I want to say, something like that. Let's go ahead and measure that. In about 36 hours, yeah, this pattern is going to be ending normally about 60 to 80% of the way, normally about 70% of the way through a consolidation pattern like this, you will see the breakout. So that means that we should expect the breakout in the next 12 hours or so, but there's always that chance that Bitcoin just trades sideways or doesn't have much of a breakout at all. But for the remainder of today and through tomorrow when we don't have a video going live, you are going to want to watch this pattern because there's a pretty good chance that Bitcoin's going to have a breakout of this. It's probably not going to be anything substantial. It might be a 1 or 2% gain, 1 or 2% move, maybe 3-5%. It's probably not going to be anything gigantic, but it is something you're going to want to pay attention to because it's an opportunity to profit. Remember earlier when I said that Bitcoin was trading on the support side of this trading channel? Well, guess what? Bitcoin is actually trading on the resistance side of this consolidation pattern. So that is indicative of a short-term bullish breakout that could bring us up to the resistance up here on that trading channel we were looking at. Watch out for that. I do want to watch what happens here. I won't be able to watch it when I'm under anesthesia, but I will be able to check out what's going on when I get back into the world of the living. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and look at our oscillators. There's not a whole lot I want to write home about here, other than the fact that Bitcoin's hourly MACD is in position to have a bullish reversal here. If Bitcoin does start having a little bit more uptrend action going on right here, then we could very easily see this reverse. For the time being, though, this is bearish. Keep an eye on that. That's going to be important. The MACD is one of the most important technical indicators. That's why I talk about it in the Technical Analysis Academy here, and that's why I talk about it so much and I use it in so many videos, is because it's very, very powerful. Like I said, guys, most people read the MACD completely wrong. They read it based on crosses and not the histogram. That's the kind of thing we dive into in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Link and the $40 off coupon are in the description. One further thing to point out, guys, is on the slightly longer term time frames, guys, Bitcoin is looking very, very bullish right now. I think Bitcoin does have a lot of bullish momentum in it, especially after this display of strength from the bulls over the last week and a half or so. I think the uptrend is still very much intact. I think Bitcoin is very healthy right now. I think Bitcoin could do for maybe a small correction, but at the same time, with how strong the market is right now, I think in the short to mid-term anyway, we're getting pretty good results. And I think Bitcoin is going to continue doing pretty well. With all that said, considering Bitcoin has been rallying for nearly 140 days now, in the next couple of months, there's probably going to be a pullback. I know I've been saying that for a while, but that just keeps getting pushed off because the bulls keep redisplaying their dominance. Keep in mind, though, that that is going to come eventually. It might be 6 months from now, guys, but there's never going to be a time where the market rallies until the end of time. There will always be a pullback, so watch out for it. It can come tomorrow, it could come a month from now, but always keep that in the back of your mind that you need to be prepared for the bearish scenario. You need to be prepared for what you're going to do if Bitcoin does decide to go and jump off a cliff. Never think you're safe and avoid using stop losses. Always protect yourself. The easiest way to lose money in this market is not by making the wrong trade or not by missing out because of opportunity cost. The easiest way to the easiest way to lose money in this market is by not protecting yourself from the bearish scenario, which you didn't see coming, or the bullish scenario if you're in a short position. Now, with all that technical analysis out of the way, with what I want to discuss on Bitcoin covered, I want to go ahead and dive into my top altcoin picks because I know that's partially why you guys are here. You guys seem to be going crazy for altcoins. I had so many altcoin requests in the live stream last night. I did technical analysis on about 10 different altcoins. About 6 or 7 of them were smaller cap altcoins that I don't do TA on very often, so we were doing a bunch of off-the-cuff TA. But in that course, in that live stream and in my own personal technical analysis, I found 2 altcoins which I'm very, very happy with. And I also want to make a little bit of an update on something I said about Litecoin in yesterday's video and in today's video. We'll go ahead and start with Litecoin because it's kind of the basis for what we're discussing here. I want to show you guys something. On these two altcoins I'm going to be showing you, they look very similar to Litecoin. They have this level of support and resistance right here. This is a very important level right here. On Litecoin, it's $110. On these other two charts, it's a little something different. But I want to show you, I want to imprint in your mind exactly what this chart looks like. Let's say Litecoin rallied very, very strongly. I remember this just shooting straight through the moon, proof of what altcoins can do, partially because of their low cap. But then we see that it kind of goes into a U shape here, and we see that it started uptrending pretty heavily here over these last couple of months. One of the reasons I was more bearish on Litecoin than some of these altcoins is that Litecoin, even though a halving is coming up in about 45 days, is already 550% from all-time bottom for the last 2 years. So be careful on Litecoin. There's still bullish potential. Even though that halving is coming up, there could still be some kind of correction before the halving actually happens. But take a look at what this chart looks like. Now, let's go ahead and dive on into the altcoins, and I will be referring back to what this chart looks like, so go ahead and remember it. The first altcoin pick that I have for right now, and I'm going to be going and updating my positions in Binance as soon as this video is over. I was going to do it last night, but I just had to get to sleep, guys. Go ahead and look at this chart. What does this look like? Does it look relatively similar to the Litecoin chart? I would say it looks very similar to the Litecoin chart if we were to reverse the Litecoin chart by about 2 months. Check this out. I think if we were to pull back the Litecoin chart about 2 months back to right around here or so, maybe even here, that is exactly what the Ethereum chart looks like right now. Ethereum looks very bullish. Ethereum looks like it's set up for a new rally up to this analogous level of support that we saw on Litecoin. Remember on Litecoin, that level of support and resistance I showed you, that was at $110. On Ethereum, it's at $400. This was the level of resistance in this ascending triangle pattern over here. It was a very important level of support in this area right over here, and I think in the near-term future, it's going to be an important zone that Ethereum is going to be trading around. And remember, guys, if Ethereum goes up to this level, that's about a 40% gain. Nothing to scoff at. It's not 550% like Litecoin has run, but you can't ever catch the exact bottoms, and you can't ever catch the exact tops. So if you're already a swing trade position on Ethereum, or you've made a long-term investment on Ethereum and you want to convert some of that into a swing trade, I don't recommend doing that. I never pull money out of my investing portfolio into my trading portfolio, always the other way around. But if you want to, that is an option. Ethereum looks like a very good opportunity at the moment. And I'm going to be getting into the other altcoin here in a second, but this is the first of the two I want to discuss. Part of the reason for that is because Ethereum is in a little bit of a pattern right here. If we were to zoom in, we're going to see what that pattern is. Ethereum looks like it's in a bit of a triangle pattern, especially on the much shorter term time frame. If we go ahead and zoom in here and zoom out a little bit, we're going to find that there is this downtrend right here, and we're going to find that there is this uptrend right here. Now, this bottom uptrend of support is not as well defined. It's something like this, but you can also draw it like this. Either way, the point being, Ethereum is very, very close to the end of a consolidation pattern. If we see Ethereum break bullish out of this, that could be the beginning of the run up to that $400 level of resistance. I'm going to be watching this like a hawk and building my Ethereum position in the swing trade I'm making and on a shorter term trade I'm making as well, because I want to see what this does. Remember, guys, I don't do altcoin technical analysis over the US dollar for any altcoins outside of the top 10 and normally not outside of the top 5. But Ethereum's number 2, so there are a whole lot of people trading it over US dollars. So that means patterns on this chart are more than viable. They are very, very important. Watch out for this trade. I'm not going to get into the rest of the technicals right now, but when and if this does break bullish, or however it breaks, if I remember, I will update you guys. I think this is looking relatively bullish. We've just seen a bullish cross on the MACD down here. Now, with that in mind, it is looking like it's going to cross bearish again, so we've already seen that reversal in the histogram. But should we see a bullish breakout, that's going to change pretty quickly. And this is not a small chart. This is not a small pattern, by the way. This is a very large pattern, which means it has a very large price target. If we were to go ahead and measure this the way that people like to measure price targets, then we would see that the price target is around $350, probably about a 20% rally. Let's go ahead and see about 25% gain, something like that. That would be the price target for this Ethereum breakout. Something around there. I don't really like the way that a lot of people do price targets, but I went ahead and showed that to you because I know you guys do like when people show you those. Oh goodness, I was running my mouth so much I didn't hear that alarm in the other room until I paused for a recording break here for a second. That's pretty funny. Anyway, moving on here, I showed you what I want to show you on Ethereum. I think it's a pretty good opportunity to make a swing trade. As always, guys, I'm just one guy with one opinion. Always do your own research before you make your trades. This is not financial advice. Don't go suing me. I will sue you right back if you sue me. I'm going to sue you for suing me. Anyway, moving on to the next altcoin, which I'm very happy with at the moment, would be XRP. Now, to be fair, I'm not as bullish on XRP as I am on Ethereum. I think Ethereum is very well positioned right now. But at the same time, XRP seems to be doing pretty well itself. XRP has a very similar one of those levels of resistance to Litecoin and Ethereum, except right here, It is trading around 42 cents on the XRP over US dollar chart. Again, XRP is the third largest cryptocurrency, so the US dollar chart is more than valid. Patterns on this are going to be very important, and also this pattern does kind of show up on the Bitcoin chart, except XRP is looking for a reversal. It's looking like it wants to bounce off of this support and move to the upside. The main thing I want to discuss here would be the US dollar chart, though. Because as we can see over the last several days here, over the last month or so here, XRP has been testing this level of resistance at about 45 cents actually, many times. Once here, once here, once here, once here. We've tested it 4 times now. That's a big deal. And the reason that's a big deal is because every time you test a level of resistance, the more likely it's going to break. This is the kind of thing we discuss in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy all the time. I talk about this a lot in the gauging of the strength of support and resistance. When you test a level of resistance or support more than 3 times, you reach a tipping point where it stops gaining and building the strength of that level of support or resistance, and it starts detracting from it. Every time after 3 tests that you test a level of support or resistance, the level starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So instead of having just a triple top here, we have a quadruple top here. A triple top means that the level of resistance is very, very strong. But once you start getting to quadruple and quintuple and sextuple and hextuple and heptuple tops, when you start doing all that, then those levels of resistance start getting a lot weaker. The fact that XRP has managed to come up here, set an uptrend in motion right here, and continue testing this is very bullish indeed. And considering that Bitcoin has had all the spotlight for right now and the altcoins haven't really had a rally, keeping that in mind, I think XRP is probably also due for a breakout. With all that said, this is one of those trades where you don't need to go into 20 different technical indicators. All you really got to do is put a buy position right above the level of resistance and then hold on to it for dear life whenever XRP does actually manage to break bullish, if it does. What I like to do in trades like this, and this is probably a trade I'll be making, is go ahead and put a buy position right above the level of resistance, far enough away that none of these wixes, because there are some very tall ones, catch it. You want to make sure that you have the actual breakout with a bunch of volume. These didn't have a whole crap ton of volume. They have some. This one did, actually. But a lot of these didn't have a ton of volume. You want to wait for a massive amount of volume, catch the breakout, and then put a stop loss right below where you bought. Catch it on the way up, and then not really risk anything. It's basically just printing free money when you catch a breakout like that. It's actually pretty silly. Guys, I'm not going to go too much more in detail on XRP. I can more in a future video if you like, but that's basically the point I wanted to make, guys. I wanted to point out to you the altcoins that I like, and I wanted to update you on the Bitcoin chart, and I think we've done that. So like I said, guys, I am going to be getting that donation off sometime today. I do have surgery tomorrow, so that is going to be a bit of a wrench. If I can't get it off today, then it's going to have to be done on Saturday. There shouldn't be any reason I can't get it off today. I'll have to figure out how exactly I want to get the money to them, since they don't want to accept my card over the internet. Maybe I'll go down there in person and have them print me a receipt and then give it to you guys so that you guys know that that money went to the right place. In yesterday's live stream, I said I was going to donate 90%. I don't know why I even did that. Of course, I'm going to donate all of it. Do I really care about $10.80? Do I really care about that when that could feed someone who doesn't have any food, and I'm sitting here with a $5,000 computer setup doing YouTube videos? Is that really what I need? Do I really need that? No, I don't. That's completely selfish of me, and I should have never done that. I do apologize. All future charity live streams will be 100% donated directly to the charity, and I am going to be covering all transaction costs, including credit card fees, when I do the donation, to make absolutely sure that the most amount of the money does go to the right place. Anyway, guys, we are going to be doing more of those in the future, so if you ever see one of these charity live streams, please tune in and donate. All proceeds go directly to the local homeless shelter, or I may run a straw poll in some of those live streams and we can decide where we want to go. Someone recommended the Wounded Warriors Project, and we might do that in the future. I just had a veteran friend of mine message me this morning about a business opportunity. I would be very happy to support that cause as well, guys. I want to do some good with the channel now that I have a live stream. Now that I have the ability to live stream, it's a very good way to do so. Anyway, guys, speaking of good deeds that you guys are doing and helping me to accomplish, I do want to go ahead and mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, and I want to mention it for a very specific reason. I was able to do something that meant a whole lot to me yesterday. I'm not going to get too much in depth with it because it's very personal, but I will go ahead and let you guys know that because of the amount of money that this course has been able to generate, because of the amount of support you guys have given the course, and the amount of value I've been able to give back to you guys through the course, because of the business we've been able to do with each other, I was able to help a friend in need yesterday and help them in a very, very big way. And it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for the YouTube channel that we are creating. Not me. You never hear me say that I have reached 20,000 subscribers, or that I have reached 2 million views, or I have reached however many years of watch time. I never say that. I always say we, because I didn't go and do that. You guys did that. I did the technical analysis, but you guys built the community, and it's because of you that I was able to help a very good friend of mine, and that means the absolute world to me. I'm going to not get emotional on camera, but it means an absolute amazing amount to me, and it's because of what you guys do here in CT2A. It's because of the success you're having with the course that I was able to do that. It was, excuse me. Like I said, I'm not going to get too much into it. I'm not going to get too much into exactly what it was, but I was able to help someone out of a tight spot, and I would not have been able to do that a couple years ago. I would not have been able to. It simply wouldn't have been possible, and it's because of you guys I was able to. So if you guys do want to learn how to do technical analysis, and you guys do want to learn how to work in these markets, you guys do want to know how to trade in these markets, you guys do want to learn how to profit in these markets, you guys do want to be able to do good things for yourself, your family, and those people around you that need help, and you don't feel like you can help them, or you do feel like you can help them, but you want to help them more, this is a great way to do it. I'm not saying that because I want to steal your money. I'm not saying that because I want to scam you. I'm not saying that because I want to hurt you. I'm saying that because I want to help you guys. I have lived a very hard life. I will be very blunt with you. I've lived a very hard life, and you guys are going to learn more about me over the next year or so when I do a face reveal in a little while, and when I start doing more of these things. It has not been easy on me, and I want to give back. And the way that I can do that is by building my business here and doing these charity live streams and giving to friends of mine and making the world a better place. And with this, I know that I can do better for the world, and I know that you can do better for the world, because money is what makes the world go round, and if we want to do good things for the world, we're going to need the funding to do it. If you want to learn how to profit in these markets, because you need to know how to profit in these markets, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to learn the information before you go and start trading. You don't want to dive into these markets with absolutely no experience. You don't want to dive into these markets having no idea what you're doing, because if you do, instead of making a lot of money, you're going to lose a lot of money. There's a statistic that flies around all the time, and I'm not sure to its validity, but I do know that it's somewhat in the ballpark that 90 to 95% of traders lose money. I don't know where that statistic comes from. I can't speak to the validity of that. I can't speak to whether or not that is true in the slightest, but I can tell you something. It's probably above 70% at the very least. The vast majority of people that trade do not make money. They lose money. And a big part of the reason for that is because people start working in these markets and they realize, oh wow, this is harder than I thought it was. And then they quit. And they quit before the opportunity actually arises. Let me tell you guys something. I uploaded a video on this channel every single day for 8 months without making a single penny, because I loved it and because I enjoyed it, because I enjoyed the community we were building, and because I was able to be persistent. I was able to keep working and look to the future and realize what the future would bring. And now I'm able to do things like I did for my friend. That is what hard work is. That is what persistence is. That is what dedication is. That is what building something that you can be proud of is. And you need to be able to build your own skills and your own ability to work in these markets. You're not going to be profitable when you start. You're not going to be profitable in the first 6 months unless you really dive into it. It's going to take you time. It's going to take you information. It's going to take you money, and it's going to take you giving it your all, working hard, working smart, and staying with the course. The way that you will actually profit in these markets is if you know what you're doing and you do it every single day. There's no skimping. There's no shortcuts. This is not a shortcut. The Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is a faster way to get to it. It's going to shorten the time from spending a year learning these markets to maybe a month to maybe a week or two, but it's not necessarily a shortcut. It's a way for you to learn all this information that you need to be profitable in the market before you spend a bunch of money and get yourself burned and leave the market because you think it's impossible. Guys, I want to start doing really big things with the channel now that I've got moved out. I have better internet, and a lot of things are starting to go right behind the scenes. I have a lot of projects I'm working on that you guys are going to start seeing over the next couple of months. I'm very much happy with what the course is doing. There's going to be another product launching relatively soon that is going to be coming out. I don't want to dive too much into that because that's still very much in the work phase. A lot of good things happening. If you guys want to support me so that I can support other people and I can start making the world a better place, and so that you can start making the world a better place, because like I said, money makes the world go round. Even if you hate it, that's the way it is. Join the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Links in the description. We have a full money-back refund guarantee, guys. If you don't want the course, if you go through less than 30% of the course material and you don't want the course within the first 14 days, I will shoot you all your money back, no questions asked. Not a big deal. If you want and you want the refund, then I can donate it to charity. Also, I could do that. We could add it to the fund. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I know I rambled here a little bit, but something very, very important to me did happen yesterday, and I wanted to go ahead and dive into exactly what it is. It really does make my heart melt whenever I'm able to do something like that, and I love doing it. So thank you guys for the money that you donated during the charity live stream last night. I know $2 can mean the world to someone. I know that $25, like someone who wanted to remain anonymous donated last night, could mean the world to them, but they did it anyway. That's very, very helpful. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to be getting that donation off today if I can. If not, it's going to be on Saturday after my surgery, because I'm going to be slammed on Saturday, as you can imagine. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap the video up with enough of my rambling. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys after you smash the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.